FPGEC, NAPLEX, MPJE, TOEFL. For Indian pharmacy graduates looking to practice in the U.S., the path to licensure feels like an alphabet soup of exams, but the process is actually highly predictable. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete 5-step checklist to take you from your Indian pharmacy degree to a full U.S. license. Before we check off step 1, we need to verify your eligibility. The U.S. enforces a strict 5-year rule. If you graduated after January 1, 2003, you must have completed 5 years of professional pharmacy education. For most Indian graduates, that means holding either a B.Pharm plus an M.Pharm or a PharmD. This is a hard requirement. If your combined degrees don't meet that 5-year threshold, the state boards will not process your application, and you won't be able to sit for any of the exams. Step 1 is proving your Indian education is equivalent to a U.S. pharmacy degree. You do this through the Educational Equivalency Assessment, managed by the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy, or NABP. You'll create an online profile with the NABP and upload your certified documents. Specifically, you need to provide your official sealed university transcripts and your degree certificates directly through their web portal. State boards rely entirely on the NABP's evaluation. Until this assessment comes back approved, your degrees aren't recognized, and you cannot advance to the testing phase. Once your documents clear, step 2 is taking the Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Equivalency Examination, or FPGE. This is a rigorous 200-question marathon designed to test your core scientific and clinical knowledge. This chart breaks down exactly what you'll see on the test. You'll spend most of your time on clinical sciences, which makes up 35% of the exam, followed closely by pharmaceutical sciences at 33%, with biomedical sciences taking up the smallest 10% sliver. But pay close attention to this 22% slice. This covers social, behavioral, and administrative sciences. The U.S. healthcare system operates on a complex private insurance model that is completely different from the Indian system, and many international students fail here. Because your university curriculum likely didn't cover American pharmacy law or business operations, you should acquire U.S.-specific study guides and textbooks specifically focused on these administrative sections alongside your clinical review. Clearing this 200-question exam is a major milestone. It proves you have the same foundational knowledge as a U.S.-trained student, moving you officially from an international applicant to a recognized U.S. equivalent graduate. Step 3 tackles communication. You have to earn your FPGEC certificate, and that requires passing the TOEFL IBT to prove your English proficiency. The NABP is strict about these minimum scores. You need a 22 in reading, 21 in listening, and 24 in writing. But the hardest requirement for most Indian candidates is hitting a 26 in the speaking section. To hit that 26, focus on structure and pacing. Use proven verbal templates so you don't stall while organizing your thoughts, and practice speaking at a steady, measured pace rather than rushing to hide your natural accent. As a U.S. pharmacist, you will be counseling patients daily. If you can't communicate dosage instructions or side effects clearly, your clinical expertise cannot be put to use. Now that you have your FPGEC certificate, step 4 gets you out from behind the desk. You need hands-on, state-mandated internship hours to translate your knowledge into practice. Look at this map to see how requirements vary across state lines. If you plan to work in California, you'll need to log 1,500 internship hours. But if you choose Texas, that number jumps to 1,740 hours. You'll complete these hours under the supervision of a licensed U.S. pharmacist, called a preceptor. Finding one requires active networking, reaching out through local pharmacy chapters, contacting independent pharmacies, and introducing yourself to pharmacy managers. This internship phase is crucial. It's where you learn how to handle real American prescriptions, navigate strict insurance rules, and apply everything you memorized to actual patient care. Once your hours are logged, you reach step 5, the final boards. These are the NAPLEX and the MPJE. This comparison shows how the exams differ. While the FPGEE tested your broad academic foundation, the NAPLEX tests your deep pharmacotherapy knowledge and your ability to perform complex clinical calculations under pressure. Then there is the MPJE. This is a rigorous jurisprudence exam that tests your knowledge of both overarching federal regulations and the specific pharmacy laws of the state where you plan to practice. Keep in mind, because state laws differ, passing the MPJE in New Jersey doesn't cover you in Florida. If you move across state lines later in your career, you'll likely have to sit for a new MPJE. Clearing the NAPLEX and your state's MPJE is the final requirement. Passing both officially grants you the legal authority to practice pharmacy independently. Documents evaluated, FPGEE passed, language skills proven, clinical hours logged, and final boards cleared. You've mapped out and conquered every step. Look at your current paperwork. If you meet the 5-year rule and have your transcripts ready, head to the NABP website today to start your educational equivalency assessment. Drop a comment below with the U.S. state you're planning to move to. We use your comments to decide which state board requirements to break down in future videos. The road from an Indian pharmacy graduate to a U.S. license demands years of studying and thousands of hours of training. But the payoff is a secure, well-compensated career at the center of the American healthcare system.